Hey guys, so I recorded this voice recording 2 days ago, and I'm giving you this disclaimer because I don't know what's going on with YouTube or my file, the way I was uploading it, but it took forever for me to try to get it finally uploaded. So I just wanted to do this quick disclaimer because in this recording, I share how I'm a little bit concerned about what I'm going to do to make money. And thankfully, within 24 hours after recording this podcast, some things started to finally unravel. I'm not that scared anymore. So, anyways, but everything else still applies. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. And I forgot to also ask you guys to leave a comment if it resonated, if you like this type of format. Let me know. And if you have any questions that you'd like me to do a podcast on, then definitely comment below and let me know. Enjoy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Bella with Bella and the Phoenix. If you're new, welcome. So I've been wanting to do this for the past few days, and yesterday, the 4th, everything came to a head, right? And I feel like I wanted to do this format as far as like talking to you guys instead of doing a reading. But I just have a lot to say, and I just felt like this would be a better way to do it. And I feel like in the future I'm going to do like more videos where you can see me talking. But it's late at night and I'm in my PJs doing laundry. If you can hear my washer dryer in the background, that's that noise. But I don't even know where to start. I guess I'll start off by sharing that I recently launched a new channel on YouTube because I want to see what feedback I get from you guys, whether to go ahead and keep doing that same content on this channel or just move that over to the other channel, right? But it's called Phoenix Heart and I love it. And it's interesting because exactly a year ago, around Libra, Scorpio season is when Bella and the Phoenix was created. And so, like a true Scorpio, right, that I am, what better way to keep transitioning and creating new things by doing it every year, right? But I just wanted to share because I felt extremely happy when I changed, my channel, or not changed my channel, but like created this new name that's still branching off of Bella and the Phoenix, right? But it just feels amazing. And that's exactly how I felt when I made Bella and the Phoenix last year, right? But I feel like as a twin flame, right? Like my journey has taken me on a completely different path. And I'm here for it, right? And I have to just go with the flow and like, not to say that I'm like needing to obey because that sounds so religious. But anytime that I get these hunches, right, like these nudges from spirit, I have to obey and like follow it to the T, right? And just like I got this dream about Mexico a few months ago, back in February, which is insane to think back, it's been 8 months. And subconsciously, ever since I had that dream, I decided to keep moving towards change. And that change led me here to Mexico. And I wanted to share, well, first, before I share about the change, sorry, I'm all over the place. I wanted to share about what I hope to do with the new channel, because I know some of you in the twin flame journey, I don't know how to say it, it's kind of like we are each in different timelines, right? Each of us are on different paths and different levels of ascension. And because of that, not everybody is on one particular path or timeline. Everybody's on different paths, like their own road, right? And so for a long time, even before I moved to Mexico, I don't know if you guys noticed, like around May, actually before that, I think around March, April, and May, I just started feeling so not motivated. And I don't even know what the word is to describe that, but I felt like I went through like a depression in March. And I don't know if this was me also feeling my masculine. I'm not really a depressed type of person, you know, like I don't deal with that, thankfully, right? Um, but I know like other people, you know, it's genetic, right? Like my mom, you know, she deals with that herself and she has to take medication for it. But anyway, all that to say, I just felt like I don't feel motivated to do another reading. You know what I mean? Like I just felt like I was keeping myself in a loop by regurgitating. You know what I'm saying? I can't even say the word. By regurgitating, by repeating that exact storyline. And that exact storyline kept me stuck. And a lot of you stuck, I feel like, because you are what you consume, right? And I started feeling demotivated or, you know, like not feeling it because I just felt like I'm not helping my audience. I'm not helping my people, you know, on this journey for us to be able to keep moving down the path and be a little bit more lighthearted, you know, let go of those burdens that we have on our backpack, right? Because I just felt like we were carrying each other's burdens and we were just wearing it like a freaking uh, trophy or like a medal, you know what I mean? Like a victim mentality. And it was not until May and June actually, you know, hit or whatever, summertime, which is interesting because summertime is when it's really hot, right? And it's like the sun's out more and it's brighter and it's that divine masculine energy in the air. And it just prompts you to act, right? And so everything I was feeling, all these emotions, I felt like I was in a moon cycle the beginning of the year and going through my name change and all that stuff in the beginning of the year. And then in the summer, it was time to act, right? It was time to act to get out of that dark cycle, out of that rut. And it got to that point where I just cried and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I know I can't live here in the United States anymore. And that was a really scary realization because this is all I've known most of my life, right? And I just didn't know what to do. And I just knew that where I was not good enough for me because I was not motivated. I was in a state of limbo. The hangman comes to mind, right? I felt like I needed to do something to propel me to be able to move to the next level. And so when the summertime hit, that's when I actually started acting, right? And not acting, but, you know, like taking action towards my fertility, right? Like I went through those fertility treatments and they were brutal, okay? I mean, I'm thankful for having worked for a company that paid for that because that's unheard of. So, but yeah, the company that I used to work for, they paid for my fertility treatments, which was like $10,000. But I came up with the difference for the medicine, which was like $3,000. It was insane, guys. And so basically, to piggyback on that action, right? I had to act and do what I've been prolonging on doing. And I did it in June, right before I left to go to Mexico in July. And once I started being in my masculine energy and taking action, I didn't know where I was going to end up. Honestly, I didn't know Merida from Adam. You know, like I've never visited Merida before. I don't have family here. I don't have friends. I only knew one girl. I mean, I still know her. She lives here. But that's it, you know, like nada, zero, like zilch. No path was carved out for me of, oh, this is where I'm going to stay, or this is who I'm going to be around, this is where I'm going to work. It was up in the air. And all that to say, I just felt like I needed to do something to improve my situation, improve my way of life, because living in the US, especially in this inflation situation that, you know, affected all of us, it really opened my eyes to realizing that all these things that I was holding on to were just weight, you know, like rocks in my backpack. Okay. And it was heavy, and I just wanted to be light and like feel happier, right? And so when I finally made the leap, right, I was scared as shit too. Pardon my French, but I mean, that's what they always say. When you're scared, do it scared, but that's when you're brave, right? Because you're doing something that scares the light out of your eyes, like the bejesus out of you. But I freaking did it, and what's interesting is how the divine worked everything according to plan, because before I even got here, I already had a place. And that's unheard of. I rented this place unseen. I had no idea. And then I found out it was one of the nicest parts of the area of Merida that I live at. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I found out that I live in a privada, which is a private, you know, townhome community. So there's only 7 townhouses here. And it's like surreal because I wanted to live in a house, but I knew that I didn't have that kind of money, right? But in Mexico, it's a possibility. It's like a freaking unicorn, okay? Because to be able to rent a 2-bedroom house, townhome, 3 stories, I don't have any neighbors above me or below me. It's a blessing. It's surreal. And then I have a garage too, and it's funny because I don't have a car, but whatever. But all that to say is that I didn't have like a clear path of how this was going to work out. All I had to do was put one foot in front of the other and trust the divine, that the divine had my back, right? And so when I got here and I went back to my old job, it didn't feel right. I felt like I was having an out of body experience. I felt like I was still stuck because I was dealing with parts of my life that were part of my old life, which was this old job, right? That I was still holding on to as a safety blanket into this new lifestyle. And sorry, I had to take a drink of water. And it felt weird. I just felt like I wasn't in my purpose. I felt like I don't know, it's a weird feeling. I just didn't feel right. Like I felt like it wasn't aligned with me, because when I took time away to move, they didn't know that I was moving, by the way. I mean, they knew, but they didn't know that I was moving out of the country. So that was interesting to like maneuver around that, but they didn't know. And I took this time off. I thought I was going to be able to get, you know, paid time off, whatever, but some stuff happened with insurance and it didn't pan out. So when I got back, they wrote me up over an attendance issue. And I've been having perfect attendance ever since I started over a year ago. I never missed a day, and if I did, I would make up the time. But and it felt awful, because how can they do this to me when I've been through a huge life change? Because I had told them I moved back to Dallas. That was my story, which is still a big move, right? Because it's not like you're moving down the street. You're moving to a whole nother city 3 hours away. And part of it was true because my family came from Dallas, grabbed, you know, my stuff to help me move all the stuff I couldn't sell, that I ran out of time, that I couldn't get rid of my furniture. I still have my TV, my entertainment center, my couch, and my bed. And those are huge furniture pieces, right? And I just didn't have enough time to sell it in time because I just had so much on my plate during that move. It was insane. But my family helped me. They came through and they got a U-Haul and they helped me put all those big pieces of furniture and they took it with them, to Dallas. But if it wasn't for them, I mean, I don't know what I would have done because when I was trying to get quotes from movers, it was ridiculous. One of them gave me like $1,000 quote, and I'm like, just to move a couple of pieces of furniture? It was insane. And I wasn't even trying to move it into another apartment or anything like that. I was trying to move it to like donate it, to give it to like Goodwill. Because at this point, I was like ready to leave this environment. I felt like Austin's great and everything, but it became very energetically toxic and I didn't feel happy anymore. And everywhere I would go, I would just feel this negative energy in the air. And I just felt like I can't live here. Like I just feel like it's time to go, like it's time to conclude this chapter. The city was great for its, for the purpose of what it served me at the time. And now that purpose is done. Like I don't need this anymore. Like it just feels like the energy shifted to something that wasn't authentically me. And so I decided to leave, right? And the fact that the prices were outrageous made it a no-brainer. Like I have to get the heck up out of here, So that was my exit, right? Like it's time to go. And so 2 weeks ago, I left my job. I quit. I told them, you know what? I can't do this anymore because they kept writing me up over the stupidest things. And I'm just like, I haven't even been written up the whole time I've been here. Now all of a sudden they're writing me up. It's like, that's when you can tell that they're pushing me out the door. So I was just like, you know what? Bye. Like, I don't need this. I deserve better, right? The fact that they wrote me up when I was moving and going through the whole life change, that was like a rude awakening because I just felt like this company only cares about themselves. They don't care about their employees. They don't care that I just went through fertility treatments and that situation too, it's very taxing on a woman because you're plugging yourself with all these hormones, right? To make these eggs mature. And I was like crying a lot when I was going through it. I had like these horrible headaches. And it made it harder because I'm trying to pack, right? Like I'm trying to pack for my trip and I physically couldn't do it because my head would be throbbing. Like it was horrible, But I knew that I was doing it for me because in the future, when I want to start a family, then I can do it, right? Because I froze my eggs. But anyway, I just felt like it was a slap in the face, the way that they handled it. And that's when I knew this is even more confirmation that I need to shed the skin, like a snake. I have to I have to transform and like let go of this job because it's part of my old life. It doesn't belong here. And when I finally started recording more consistently was actually this past 2 weeks. I put up 4 readings last week. And that's a record because, as some of you know, I hardly ever post, once a week. And if I do, it's like maybe once a week here and there. But last week, 4 times, that was, wow. That was a record. And, but anyway, but I just feel like this wave of my audience is not resonating with the content because maybe some of you feel like you want to focus on other things. You want to focus on your career. Actually, one of you just commented on my recent reading that I did yesterday that you're focused on your career. And that's exactly what I love. I want to hear about that, right? Because our life is more than just our journey with our person, right? That's just one small part of it. Even though when we meet them, it feels like it's the only thing that we want to hold on to and gravitate towards. But that's just one part of the pie, right? And so the rest of the pie is your life, right? Like, what do you want to manifest? And so that's why I feel like I need to create another channel so that I can speak to my audience that wants to talk about other things that are not related to the twin flame journey, because it is a little bit draining, right? Like I even feel tired mentioning it right now. It just feels very heavy in the energy, especially right now in Libra season. And what's interesting about my Mexico dream is that I kept seeing the Justice card in my dream. And I felt like that was Spirit's way of telling me during Libra season is when you're going to get your balancing of the scales, right? And you're going to be vindicated. You're going to be able to stand up for what's right and speak your truth and be authentic to you, to who you are, right? And it's interesting because now that I think about it, the last day of Virgo season was when I made this choice to quit my job. And the day after that was the beginning of Libra season, right? So it's very interesting looking back at that now, because I was cleaning house, like Virgo, so you guys love to be organized and stick to your routines and whatnot. And that's what I was doing. I was cleaning house. I was taking out the trash. And that was my old job. That job had to go, and it stayed with me way past the time it was supposed to. But I feel like it was very significant that in my dream, the Libra season, the Justice was very prominent in my dream. And so that's just confirming that Spirit already had this planned, and this is going to happen in Libra season. So that's my whole spiel about why I want to create Phoenix Heart. And I feel like Phoenix Heart describes perfectly the essence of the channel, because I just want to speak from my heart, right? Like, speak to the things that have made my heart soar, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? Speak to people where they can feel their hearts transform, like the phoenix. You know what I mean? Like, we have to get to rock bottom before we can finally rise, right? And so I just feel pulled to create this new channel and start fresh. I'm even thinking about creating a whole new website. Like, bellandthephoenix.com was great, but I never really, put my energy into it. And I still had old posts from like years ago, from when I was doing my Dateless in Dallas blog. And it's time to let go of those old chapters and not keep bringing them along. And so I think I'm just going to start a whole new website too. And it's perfect timing too, because my domain registration is up this month. So so yeah, I think I'm going to work on that. But my whole point of today's topic, which I can't believe it took me this long to get to the point, but I felt like it was important to bring up my whole thinking about why I want to create this new channel and like what audience it can serve. And hopefully, if you guys like this, video, podcast, whatever, give it a thumbs up, definitely. And, go ahead and go over to Phoenix Heart. I don't have like a custom URL yet. It's just in the baby steps. I barely did it like seconds before I started recording this. But definitely give it a follow, right? Give it a follow so that you can start getting updated when I do content over there. And so I just wanted to do this like a prelude, because you guys are over here and I don't have anybody over there. So anyways, but like I was saying earlier, to piggyback on what I was saying earlier about change, I feel like 2022 has been my year of change. I changed my name, I changed my house situation, and I recently changed my job because I'm still not sure what I'm going to do yet. And that's kind of scary, right? Because I moved to another country. I can't work here legally in Mexico unless I have a work visa. And I don't know, my brain is like over full capacity of, like a computer. Like my memory is full and I don't have any more space to start looking up work visa requirements and all that good stuff. I just can't. But my goal for sure is to keep making money online like I was doing before. But I feel like now it's going to be a little bit different, right? Because now it's going to be more geared towards my gifts and my psychology. What is it called? Psychic. I can't even talk. It's like, oh, I'm up late recording this, you guys, so I'm a little tired. But I'm a night owl, so that's what night owls do. We stay up late. But no, like I feel like with these changes when I got here, I didn't know what my purpose was once I get here to Mexico, and I still don't know, right? But I feel like this will be a complete failure if I were to just pick up my stuff and go back, go back to Dallas with my mom and my family, right? And my dog, my poor baby's still over there missing me. And I'm missing him obviously. But I don't know. I just feel like my journey is not over here in Mexico. I feel like there's some more people that I'm supposed to meet, and I hope I meet them soon. I mean, it's getting down to the wire because, like, if I can't figure it out, which I'm not trying to speak that into existence, then I have to go back to the States sooner than anticipated, which is not, it's not like sooner because I was going to leave in January anyways, but I might end up leaving in December. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here and share because something happened today that made me realize that I have to surrender. And let me read this tarot card, oracle card, because it's an image of this girl laying down on the water, and you can see her body laying on top of the water. And she has hearts drawn all over her body, and the moon is shining on her as she's laying there with her eyes closed. And it's almost like the moon is draining her of the negativity. I just feel that, because that's what the moon does, right? The moon is able to pull out our darkness and it brings it to the surface, right? Because our bodies are made of what, 80% water, right? So it's like the moon moves the tides, right? So, and just like that, that's how in that same token, the moon is able to pull out our emotions to the surface. What needs to come out that's toxic, right? What's toxic that needs to be purged and released. And when you turn the card around, the first word you see says surrender. And it says here, at times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. I cannot believe this. And it's funny because I heard Spirit tell me pick up that card, and I did, right? And for me to be able to see this message, it really spoke volumes to me, because I felt like Spirit was just telling me, you just have to surrender. Yeah, you may not know where your path is right now because you're still trying to figure it out, but something new is coming, but you have to let go of the old, right? And so I just felt like this year of change for me has to be where I consistently keep surrendering all to the divine, right? Like just letting go of the weight on my backpack. Letting the divine take out those pebbles off of my backpack so that I can actually be lighter, And I don't know why I just keep thinking of that as a metaphor, because it's interesting, right? Because when I traveled to Mexico, my girlfriend, she let me borrow one of her backpacks, and it was huge. But I was carrying so many things, including my dog's toys and all this crazy stuff. It was a lot. It was excessive. It was ridiculous. And I just remember like feeling better once I would take the backpack off. I was like, oh, I feel so much better, because all that heavy stuff starts pulling at your skin and your muscles, you know what I mean? Like you just feel, oh, like this heavy weight is just dragging me down and like making me feel worse, right? But as soon as you let go, then you feel better. Right? And I feel like that was interesting because I felt like before I came to Mexico, I was holding on to those pebbles, those rocks on my back that I still hadn't let go of, right? And I feel like now I'm learning that I need to just purge and like not be a hoarder and get rid of stuff that I don't need to hold on to. And that could be physical things, or it could just be habits, you know what I mean? Things that don't belong. anymore in this new life that I'm living in. And I feel like that's the divine showing us, right? Like the sacrifices that we have to make when we don't listen to our intuition, right? Which is our soul purpose, our heart. When we don't listen to God, to our intuition, to our soul, it's like we are disobeying in a way. It's like you're going to get in trouble. You're putting yourself in a worse situation by not listening to your heart space, and listening to the ego, right? To your mind. And I just felt like by me letting go and listening to the divine, whenever it was saying, take the leap to go to Mexico, and yeah, you don't have it all figured out, but just go, you know? Because even before I left, I felt like I wanted to quit my job. I wanted to quit the week that I was moving, actually, because I just felt like, why would I want to go back to that job when this is like while I was moving that I knew they weren't paying me for like a week of work because of insurance issues and some other stuff. But I was like, why would I want to work back at that company when they treated me like this, you know? And so when you awaken spiritually, you take no shit from anybody, including jobs, right? And that's where I was at. I was just like, why would I go back to this company? But realistically speaking, I needed this job for now, right? And that's why I kept it as long as I did. But whenever things started happening where it was leading me to leave the job, I knew to trust the divine, right? To trust it, because the universe always has your back. Where this new life was taking me, I was just taking those baby steps, right? I didn't have like a clear path of, oh yeah, once I get to Mexico, I'm going to work here, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. I didn't have it all figured out. And that's the thing that I want you guys to take away from this, is that sometimes you don't have all the answers, and you're not supposed to, right? Otherwise we would be God. But I just felt like it was my job, as far as like what I need to do to co-create with spirit, is to give it my part of the deal, and spirit does the rest, right? So I did what I needed to be able to make it through these few months. And honestly, I feel like everything worked out as it should have. And now I need to start focusing on, what do I want to give to the community? What do I want to give to my twin flames to be able to help them so we can help each other? And it definitely doesn't entail being stuck, because this is the year of change for a lot of us, you know. 2022 has been the year of transformation, and everything is changing, right? And we just have to go with the flow. So now that I'm in this crossroads, right? That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm at a crossroads where if I go down this path on the left, you know, I can't even talk. My voice is starting to crack. If I go on this one path, right, this path could lead me back to the same cycle. But if I go down this other path that I am not familiar with, I know a little bit about it, but it's just, I don't know. I've never been there, right? But it's funny how I just said that out loud, and I just thought of it, because when I said I'd never been there, I think about Merida. I've never been here, and I still came, right? I still came and made a life here in the past 3 months. I can't believe I've been living here for 3 months. Has it been 3 months? Yeah, it's been 3 months. Wow. I made it through a quarter. But yeah, I just feel like I'm at a crossroads right now, and I needed to let go of that old life, which included that job. That's not who I am, right? I'm not meant to work for a company that is very self-centered and toxic in that way. I'm meant to help my collective, you guys, right? So that we can lighten the load and be able to make this journey more beautiful, right? And not focusing on that one little part of our journey with our person. We got to focus on the whole pie. That doesn't include that our person, right? That's just like the icing on the cake. If they come back, great, you know, my life is already great. But if your life is not where you want it to be, and you're wishing that that person could come and fix all your problems, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because, and that person too, because you're not putting yourself out there to fulfill your potential and your soul purpose and what you're put in this life on earth to do. Your life is more than just making a family and being with the love of your life. There's more to life than that. It's great, not taking anything away from that, but that's not the point of why we're here. Part of the point of why we're here is to stay in connection with the divine, right? Source, God, the universe. And through that connection, we're able to tap into our gifts. And our gifts give back to the world, to the collective, so that we can grow and help each other, right? And I feel like that's also the point of twin flames. You know, the journey of being with your person is that through your love, you're going to help other people see that you're supposed to have unconditional love. It's not what society taught us it should be. It's not codependency. It's not trauma bonding. You know, it's a lot more than that. But anyways, I just felt called to share about that, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to ramble so long. But I don't know where this crossroads is taking me, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared out of my mind, because I'm gonna be authentic with you guys. I haven't booked a reading in a couple of months, and that's understandable, right? Because I was moving and I was working this corporate job, but I just haven't. My channel has just been not what it used to be. And that's interesting, right? Because it's almost like giving you a sign, like maybe this is not where you're supposed to be, right? Because if it was, then it would be flourishing, right? It will be growing. And I'm not trying to say I'm going to give up or anything, but at the moment, it just feels like it's not getting the attention that it used to get. And it could be, you know, a number of factors. It could be YouTube purposely, you know, not letting my channel be shown. It could just be people got tired of watching tarot readings and they moved on, right? One of my clients actually is officially dating her twin flame. And I wanted to cry when she told me, because, oh man, every time I would do a reading for her, I mean, the guy was not ready. And I kept trying to tell her, girl, focus on you. Focus on you, because your boy is not ready, right? So if he was able to come into union with her and he wasn't ready when I read on his energy, that gives me hope, right? Because I'm like, I mean, not trying to down him or her or anything like that, but it's kind of shocking, you know, because oh man, I just thought, based on what I had seen, that it would take this person a long time to get where they were supposed to, right? But that just goes to show you guys that things can change in a heartbeat, right? Where you might assume that your person might be years away from change, they could go through a rapid ascension in a month. You know what I mean? Like, that's how quickly the energy can shift. And all these planets that were in retrograde, and now a lot of them are going direct. We have Pluto coming in, and I can't remember what sign, whatever. I'm not an astrologer, but you know, Mercury finally going direct. I just feel like these are all really strong energies that are going to help the collective shift into that new timeline, right? Into that new path that we're supposed to be on. And that's why I feel like I'm in the state of change right now. It's like there's a song, you guys should listen to it. It's one of her best songs that I ever heard, by Ellie Goulding. It's called Flux. I think that's what it's called. But basically, that's just like describing when somebody's in limbo, you know, like we're in a state of flux. And that song is very beautiful, because she talks about, you know, our memories, they're always going to live on, right? But we're always in a state of change, right, guys? And so I just feel like this is why we need to be patient. This is what I was trying to say earlier, that finally I'm getting to the final point, is that when I moved here, I didn't have it all figured out. I still don't, right? But I just felt like I feel like I'm losing the thought again. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. But I just felt like I'm not supposed to be working, that old job. I'm supposed to be doing something else. And I still don't know what the heck is happening here. But yeah, like all that to say is that we always need to be open because things always change, right? Like things are always in the state of flux where they could change easily and you didn't even see it coming, right? But if you have a strong belief that you know that your life can be different and you're doing the little steps that you need to take to get there, and spirit is working in the background to get you there, all you have to do is believe, right? Believe in the impossible and take those steps, those baby steps, because as you keep trusting the divine, it's going to start revealing that full picture for you when you're meant to see it, but you're not supposed to know ahead of time. Because if you knew ahead of time, you might not have gone down that path, right? So, but yeah, like I just love this song. I'm going to read part of the lyrics here, but she starts off by saying, "Remember me in a simple way, not what I did or said. When I think of you now, I just think of the day we met, and I'm still in love with the idea of loving you. It's a state of flux. I just keep holding on. Would you be taking me higher? Would we be living as liars? I want to know. I want to know. When the memories pack up and leave, it will set me free. I should be counting my blessings, stay safe in confusion. And maybe I'm learning my lesson. I know you wanted to save me." And yeah, she just keeps going on about like, would you be taking me higher? Would we be living as liars? I want to know. Would we be living in Camden, getting a ticket to your band? I want to know. So it just kind of reminds me of like somebody thinking about what life would have been like if we had gone down that path, right? Because sometimes in this journey, that's what we do. We often think about, well, what if we would have never broken up and we would have been together? But that's not the timeline that you were supposed to be on. You were supposed to each go on your separate paths so that you can find your soul purpose, what you're meant to do. And that's part of why I feel like I'm meant to be here in Mexico, because there's something here that I'm supposed to do. I don't know what. But it's going to be revealed to me, right? And I feel like this Libra season is paramount, right? It's absolutely insane because the energy already started shifting in the beginning. Remember, like I just said, like in the very beginning of Virgo season ending and Libra season starting. So, yeah, we just need to just keep going with the flow, right? And taking those baby steps and following our intuition, right? Because a lot of the times when we watch readings or we look for signs like, show me this is my person, like we're just looking for validation, but the answers are already inside of us. We already know how this person feels towards us. We already know that they're our person because nobody else comes close. And so I don't know. I just feel like this journey of being a twin flame teaches us how to maneuver the rest of our life, right? It's that one piece of the pie that's very valuable because it's the catalyst to help you figure out the rest of the pieces, right, of the puzzle. And it started with that person coming into our life, right? And you might underestimate people and think, oh, they're never going to grow or they're never going to change. But in a matter of weeks, days, months, they could have a full-blown awakening, right? And they're coming to you like, hey, I'm ready. Let's get this chapter started, right? But if we keep repeating the old story of, oh, they did this, they did that, they're not with me, we're manifesting that exact reality. And that's not where we want to be, right? And I'll leave you guys with this. I had a dream I think it was 2 years ago, where my sister was with me. I don't know, we were in some weird I don't know, I think we're in Egypt or something, because there was a lot of sand, and there was a Batman that came in. It was like a bat, but he was so big that he was like in the shape of a man, and I got kind of scared because I was like, whoa, what is this? But I was stuck in that pyramid, and I was trying to figure out, how am I going to survive, you know? And he came to save us. He came and he was like, you can come with me, but you can't take that with you. And I was like, what, my snacks? And he was like, yeah, you can't bring it with you because, I don't know, I guess supposedly it was going to be too heavy. You know, again, like the whole metaphor of bringing too much on board when you're trying to be light, or you got too many rocks in your backpack when you're trying to get to, you know, the pretty house on the prairie. I don't know. But I was bummed out, you guys. I did not want to let go of my snacks. I was just like, oh man. And I thought about it for a second, right? And then I thought, I am tripping. Of course I should let go of these snacks because, one, they're not going to fulfill me, right? They're just going to fulfill me for the short term, but then I'm going to be hungry again, right? I'm still going to want more fulfillment. And we were actually going to Italy or something like that. And when he said that, you can't bring that with you, I was like, really? And it was like I knew that I had to let go of what I wanted to bring with me because it would hold us down, right? Like it would keep us from going to that new chapter. Just like that card surrender says. You gotta, before something new can enter our lives, you have to let go. Let go, right? And so I was like, okay, fine. So I let go of my snacks. And then we finally went to Italy. And it's funny because as I was in my dream, I was thinking, I was tripping because here I am trying to hold on to these snacks when we're going to Italy. Like, hello, we can have pasta, we can have spaghetti, we can have pizza, like the whole pie, you know? Like, I love Italian food. I'm obsessed with it. So I was like, I'm going to have more fulfillment where I'm going, right? But it wasn't going to happen in these sands of Egypt. I was literally stuck. Like it was weird. It was like I was in a high, it might have been like a past life memory. I don't know. Maybe I was Cleopatra. I don't know. But I was like in this mountain of sand and it was like in a pyramid and I couldn't leave, or if I left it was like I would end up at the bottom of the pyramid on the sand. There was like nothing but sand. Like I can't survive off of sand, right? And spirit, you know, sent somebody to save me, which was the Batman. Which is funny because it's actually my favorite superhero. But anyways, so he came to save me, but at first he scared me. So it's interesting because you think about that metaphorically, right? Like you change scares you, right? Like here's a solution and here's the universe trying to give you help, and you get scared because you're like, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I can trust this Batman. I don't know if he's going to take me to Italy. You know? And so, but I decided, okay, I just need to trust because it's worse staying where I'm at, right? I have to go. I have to go. And then he told me, you can't bring those with you. Like, I think I had a bag of chips or something. And I was like, really? Man. I was like a little kid. I was like, oh man, okay, fine. So I left my little snacks behind. But all that to say, you guys, it's like, it's insane how that can happen, right? In dreams, especially. And I usually don't have vivid dreams like that, but I don't know. I just felt like when you remember dreams, write them down because they're very significant. And I don't know. I just felt like that was very fitting with today's message that I wanted to share with you guys because you might be scared of change and you're not familiar with the path, right? Because it's the path less traveled. But you trust that the divine knows better, right? Better than you. And so you just got to take a leap of faith and just be like, okay, I mean, I can't figure it all out. I'm not supposed to, but let's go. And see what happens, right? And I just remember like leaving Texas, and as soon as I got here to Mexico, I was so happy. I felt really, really happy. And I'm still trying to like keep up that momentum, but you know, it is what it is, and it's not like I'm going to be on that kite flying high all the time. But but it's just like I just feel like I have to do this for me. I have to figure out what this next chapter is going to look like. And today I got signs that Phoenix Heart is that transformation that I need to start doing that. And I don't know where it's going to turn into. I mean, I hope into some readings and and some coaching calls. If you guys have I don't know if you've seen my posts where I'm doing coaching calls, schedule one with me and we can talk about your situation. But yeah, I just hope that I can finally start making my channel what it needs to be, and for people to be able to resonate with the content and you know and attract my tribe, right? Like the people that are meant to be in my energy and listen to what I have to say and share. And for those that are not meant to be in this channel, then you know it's fine. It's not a big deal, you know. Like that meme says, not everybody has good taste. I'm just kidding. But but yeah, guys, I just wanted to share that. I didn't mean to go off for a whole hour, but I had a lot to say, you know, and I hope that this at least gave you some motivation, guidance, clarity by hearing me ramble. I don't know, but let me know what you think of this, and if you'd like me to do more of this, I will do more on my channel here. But definitely know I'm going to start doing more stuff on my other new channel, Phoenix Heart. And yeah, I don't know. I might start doing poetry over there or something. I don't know. But I don't know. But yeah, I just hope that you guys are doing well. I should have started that with the beginning. Hope you guys are doing well, like I always say. But anyways, I'm rambling. My voice is hurting. I gotta get to bed. But thank you guys so much for listening and tuning into my channel. And please book a reading. And it doesn't have to be twin flame. If you guys want to look at career, love, love, you know, advice from about family or a situation, we can look into those things too. It doesn't have to be a love reading. Or if you want to do a coaching call and you can talk with me for 30 minutes or an hour, we can do that too. So, but yeah, thanks guys for listening, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.